2. Welcome to the Coffee Hours with Dr. Greg. I'm the CEO and founder of Elite Traders University. It's so good to be with you here. We're going to do a Q&A here for the next hour or so. And I'm so glad to be here. Happy Friday. I'm all dressed in my orange, hook 'em horns. Texas, they're going to have the first football game this Saturday, and they're going to play Ohio. Boo. So I've got I didn't go to take my daughter graduated from UT Austin, and one of the best schools in the nation, other than UCLA. So that's why I'm all dressed up in my hook 'em horns attire, right? So anyway, that's what's going on with me, and we had a terrific trading week. We're going to answer any questions you may have regarding trading. We had some really big inflation data that came out, and we saw the market behave in its usually unpredictable way. But I did post in school about the PCE inflator and things like that. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, I would invite you to join us on school or school community. And let me go ahead and share my screen so you actually can see it. And in the school community, you get to interact with a lot of great traders, a powerful, ever-growing, dynamic trading community. You're also able to ask questions and be supported in every way. And I've also included a lot of courses, free courses and things like that to help you on your journey. Again, there's nothing, working with a professional. I've been doing this for 30 years, helping traders in all walks of life become professional traders, to live the life of their dreams, to live a life of freedom. I've created many multi-millionaires, and I invested in coaching and training when I hit a brick wall of my trading and I couldn't buy a trade. And I was trained by none other but Mark Douglas, the author of Trading in the Zone. Mark Douglas, and he was not cheap. He was not free. And my family, my wife especially, they were very, very, very upset that I invested, or gave this guy, which I look at as an investment, so much money. But the amount of money, the return, ROI, when you investment means that you get a return on your money, okay? A return. So when you look for a return on, means that the money that you put out comes back multiplied, right? I know there's a lot of scams out there. They call themselves investments. You put your money in there and it never comes back. I know people have been invested in crypto scams galore. I mean, everybody has a crypto scam nightmare, right? But however, an investment, the way an investment is supposed to work is that when you put your money there, whether it's 100,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or 1,000, you expect a return, a multiply, right? It's like planting a seed. You put a corn seed in, you don't get one corn out. You get a big return. You get a harvest, multiples, right? You plant one cucumber and you get a whole rack of cucumbers, right? You plant one tomato seed, you get a bunch of tomatoes. So similarly, if you make an investment, you expect a return. And when I take a course or a class, I look for the ROI. I look at, hey, if I'm investing $5,000 or $10,000, I don't look for my $10,000 back. I look for $100,000 back, right? I look at that ROI, because my time, I'll never get that time back. So getting back my money is just not, this breaking even is not in the cards. I need to make multiples of what I invested. So that's what happened when I invested with Mark Douglas, right? Investing in his training and his mentorship nearly 20 years ago, and I reaped the returns. Again, he wasn't cheap, he wasn't free, and I almost coughed. I was a teacher on a tight budget. And, I begged and borrowed and put everything together to be able to do that, right? And so now, because of his training, because of his mentorship, because of his guidance, I'm able to string. I mean, this is the date, 28, look, 16,240, 110, 450, 1451, 430. one loss, right? One loss. So one trade. And I made countless trades over the years, right? That I have done. So I've received. Do you think I got my money back, right? Do you think you think I got my money back from this training, right? Do you think having one loss and having a string of wins, do you think I got my money's worth? You think, right? But I could have just did it my own way and trial and error. And we didn't have YouTube back then, but we books and tapes and going to webinar, going to webinars. You had seminars. You go to a hotel and you book a hotel. Go to a hotel and spend 3 hours of your day, listening to some guy on the weekend. And so here, we have access to me. So that's what I did. I invested and things got, good. So here you guys got so much easier because guess what? When you come to Elite Traders University, our school site, school.com/Elite Traders University, we start you off with lots of courses. The Baby Forex PIP course, 16 videos, short introductions to the Forex market. If you don't know anything about the Forex market or you need a quick refresher, right, it will help you on your way. And once you finish the basics of that program, you go to the Forex freshman course, right? This is part of a 4-module course, which talks about risk management, understanding leverage, currency crosses, choosing what type of style, if you're a scalper or a swing trader or a position trader, find out what type of trader you are, right? This is, now, if you upgrade to our VIP, you'll get access to the full compendium of, there's 81 videos in total, right? That covers every aspect of the Forex market taught by me, right? Now, once you've got a foundation, you can go to our strategy and actually try to make some money, right? Using the Samurai course. Samurai course was developed by one of my top students, $1 million student. And she developed this Samurai sword. Was an opening range, ORB, opening range breakout strategy. And so that's absolutely free in the classroom, right? Now, if you need more, you can upgrade to our Learn and Earn Academy. Learn and Earn, we have Forex scalping trading sessions with me on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 7 p.m. Eastern time to 9 p.m. Eastern time, okay? Now, normally, hey, people always talk about how bad Asia session is. There's no liquidity in it. Believe me, I've been doing this for 30 years, and I'm a former Wall Street currency analyst for one of the largest Forex broker dealers in the world. And so you probably want to listen to me over someone that maybe has a ring light in their mom's basement trying to teach this stuff, right? And remember, there's like 2 billion Asian people, and they are not getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to trade the New York session, right? They are, whether they're from Thailand or Korea or Malaysia or Singapore or China or Australia or New Zealand, they are not trading the New York session. So what are they trading? They're trading the Asia session. And I found a way of finding out where they are using smaller time frames. We're able to find lots of trading opportunities in that Asia session. Asia session is perfect for U.S. people. If you work from a 9-to-5 job, you get off to work, you have dinner. It's 7 p.m. in Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central time, and it's about maybe like 4 p.m. Pacific time. You can get some trades in, and then, hey, 2 hours later, you can watch TV, go to sleep, and wake up and do it again, right? Rather than trying to look at your watch or your cell phone, trying to trade New York session on your job, in traffic while driving, losing sleep, waking up at 3 a.m. for the London session, this eliminates that. That's why I chose Asia. Works for me. I did wake up for New York today. I had to pee, and so I woke up. However, I went, I knew that there was big inflation data coming out, right? So again, you can come to the School Academy. I'll go ahead and give you the link, and you can. This is if you want the paid, it's $97 a month now. However, if you It's set to go up next month to 119 or 127. I'm not sure what that is, but you can lock in your rate right now by clicking the link here. I'm gonna put the link in the chat if you're interested. Right, that's the paid group, and if you want the free group, well, there's lots of good stuff there too. And again, it's a great community to get started, and lots of resources there to help you as well. Right, and so I give you the link to that. I'm gonna pop that in the everyone who's watching this on school, you already are a member, so I'm not gonna pop the link to you, right? But I'll go ahead and put that right there, right? I'll put it in YouTube. Okay, so we had the inflation data that came out, which is why I got, if I do get up for New York session, it's to trade the inflation data and or some type of data, or there's non-farm payroll or something. I'll trade the news. So let's go ahead and take a look at my market heat map. Was one of my top secret tools for finding trades in the market. It tells us what's hopping, what's popping, what's dropping, and what's not in the market. Green is an uptrend, red's a downtrend, gray stay away. It's 1999, but if you can go right to the front page and scroll down, and you can have access to one of 6 powerful heat maps. And heat maps keeps it really stupid easy. Green is up, red is down. It's very, very simple thing to follow. I look at the thing and it says, Kiwi dollar is up 0.29%, euro dollar is up 0.21. Closing price 117.02. And guess what? I got long. I made money. I went back to bed. I actually sipped some coffee though. But you can go on my market heat map, right? So we did have inflation, the PCE that came out. I'll show you. There's an economic calendar as well to help you out. If it doesn't show up, just kickstart it, just kick refresh, and the economic calendar will show up. The economic calendar will show up. Really? Really? Okay. Trying to spinning around. It's spinning. It's spinning. It's spinning. Well, that's Kiwi yen, Kiwi dollar. I took a trade. I took a trade on the there it is. Economic calendar, right? So we had the this is the US flag, fun with flags. And really simple, guys. I look at the flag, and that's why I trade, right? The euro is called the anti-dollar. It was designed. It was like the Eurozone is considered the United States of Europe, right? It's supposed to unite all the countries under one currency. Years ago, when I first started trading, there was the Italian lira, there was there was the German mark, and there was the French franc, right? So all these countries had their own currencies. When they create a currency union, their governments are separate, but their currencies are together. In 1999, they debuted the anti-dollar, right? To give people a choice in case of the market, anything going crazy, they can have a place to run to. So it was create the euro currency pair, right? So it's considered the anti-dollar. So when I see U.S. news, I personally I will trade the euro, right? Because why? It's the most liquid currency. So much value, so much volume, like 85% of all forex volume occurs in the euro, right? And the euro versus the US dollar. There's lots of cross trade. There's cross-Atlantic trade, and it has so you're going to find more opportunities to trade, right? So you're looking at currencies to trade, right? You're looking at the euros, $6.1 trillion a day that's traded in the currency market. 28% of that, which is huge, 28% of 6.1 trillion is a huge number. That's going to be in the euro, right? So trading the euro, or the next currency is the dollar yen. And the dollar yen is about 13% of the currency currencies that's actually traded. followed by the pound, right? I love trading the pound, I love trading the Aussie, and those are smaller. But if you look at the yen pairs and some of the forex major miners like Kiwi dollar and Aussie dollar, they make up quite a bit less, right? But they're all linked to the US dollar. So I like trading this because, hey, that's where there's going to be a lot of liquidity. There's going to be a lot of support. There's going to be support, some resistance levels, structure, whatever you're using is going to be, it's going to make be very, very well represented in the euro, right? But if you go to something like, Norwegian kroner versus Turkish lira, not a lot of volume, big wide spreads, and there's going to be very erratic movement because there's not a lot of people involved. I think I just saw a question from Heidi regarding spreads, right? And again, I see if I can find that. I think that is in our VIP chat. And let me go ahead and see if I can find that. Sean is here, and I see Heidi is here. Heidi posted a question. And where did you post that question? You said something about ox spreads. Maybe. There it is. Okay, it's in our team's chat, right? Okay, stock security commission spreads fluctuate, right? I've seen some crazy spreads around 5 p.m. Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, 5 p.m. You don't want to trade at 5 p.m. That's like Heidi says, Ox Securities, the comment, the commission spread fluctuates, right? I've seen some crazy spreads around 5 p.m. in Forex, right? You got to understand that you got to ask yourself, how many banks are open at 5 p.m. Eastern time, right? And, well, all Asia, what time is it in Tokyo? It's probably like, 4 in the morning, right? So you think of what is open. Europe is offline, right? At 5 p.m. The only trading center that's open at 5 p.m. is Wellington, New Zealand. That's where the Forex day starts. Wellington, New Zealand, okay? Spreads are a result of players in the market. The more players, the more liquidity, the tighter the spread, okay? More people, tighter spreads. At 5 p.m., there's very few people. North America is closed. U.S. banks are closed. Try to go to a bank in New York, the major industrial banks are closed. You might be able to go to some local bank or some credit union, but the banks are closed at 5 p.m., okay? So 5 p.m., 5 p.m., 5 p.m., and let's say ET to Tokyo, well, that's 6 a.m. And there's no bank open at 6 a.m. in Tokyo, right? And if he said Australia, right? Well, then it's 7 a.m. and the banks are open at 7 a.m., right? And if you look 5 p.m. in the UK, right? It's 10 p.m. So they're in bed, they're asleep, right? Or how about China, right? How about Beijing, right? Well, it's 5 a.m. in Beijing. So basically, the whole world is closed at 5 p.m. So guess what's going to happen to your spreads at 5 p.m.? They're going to be super wide. And that's why I encourage my students, don't trade until, in fact, we start our live trading at 7 p.m. Eastern time, right? That's 2 hours. That's two hours later, right? Which allows you, then now if you're talking about, Australia, you're catching, it's the ones in New Zealand, it's later, right? In fact, when Lisa comes on, right, it's going to be 9 a.m. Australia. That's going to start the market. And guess what? As more people come in to the market and more banks are opening up for their trading day, for their business day, the business day in those countries, the spreads will tighten up because you have more people awake in the market, okay? Just because you're off work and you could trade 5 p.m. the rest of the world basically is closed, even though technically the Forex market never closes. It's 24 hours a day, even on Saturdays, because you have banks in Saudi Arabia, in the Middle East, who are open on Saturdays for business, right? So, so really, it is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week market. And so, but not every hour you can trade because the liquidity is too low. And it's like having a canoe or a kayak, and the water is very deep. I mean, liquidity, lots of water, right? But if the water level falls and you're in a kayak, I remember going fishing in a kayak. We put the cooler with our drinks and food, and we sat and we scraped the bottom of the ground of the river because there was a drought, there wasn't a lot of water, and so we had to like walk in the water, knee high, because there wasn't enough water, there wasn't enough liquidity, so we were scraping up against the bottom of the river, right? And that's what happens if you trade at the wrong time. If you trade at the wrong time, you will have high spreads. I don't care what broker it is. There's now a broker on this planet that's going to make the market for you when all the banks and all the other big players are gone. Okay. So I hope that's clear. Give me a thumbs up in the chat box, or a 555 triple nickels. Let me know if that makes sense, that you got it. All right. Thanks. Cool. I got 555 and Teams. Okay. So we're looking at PCE. Inflation is a very important factor. And, we can see that it actually was a little higher than normal. The target inflation rate, inflation affects everything. Buying eggs and gasoline and food and rent, inflation. Now, a year ago, if you look at the numbers, if you click here, right, you can see that, hey, this is a chart of the core PCE year on year. This is March 31st, 2022. We peaked out at 5.4%, right? That's when your eggs were like $7 and your gasoline is like $5, right? But then, it's been a steady decline, and we are a lot farther down than we were before, right? However, for the most part, from 2016 to 2021, we were under 2%, right? This is the target inflation rate that the Fed wants to see. It's still a little stubborn, right? And what Jerome Powell and the Fed fear, that if they cut interest rates, we might see inflation go back up again, right? Right now, inflation is pretty stubborn. And because it won't, we want it down, right? We want that inflation rate to come down, and it's not. So it's still hot. And so that's why the Fed hasn't cut interest rates. Now, the bond market is doing the heavy lifting, because we already see that even though the Fed has not announced a rate cut, we can look at a chart and see that we can go to the 10-year Treasury, and we can see that the bond yields are actually falling, right? Look, so we can see that that's already dropping, right? So even though the Fed has not cut, we are in a downtrend. And but people are worried that the Fed is behind, that if the bond market is already going down, why don't you go down too? All the countries around the world have cut interest rates, right? In fact, we go to my market heat map, we can actually go to, if we log in, and there's a whole suite of tools in my market heat map. It's not just the heat maps, but it's charts, it's Forex TV, it's news and other things. But we can go to central bank rates. We click that, and we can see the rates of each of the banks, right? And we can see that Canada is 2.75. We're 4, right? Euro area is 0.5. They cut interest rates, right? We can see the United States is still 4.5. So you can see that interest rates around the world, right here. But even though the Fed has not officially cut, we can see that the rates have come down from, when they were like 5%, right? We look back here on the daily chart, we're using Trading View, and we can see that we had a high about this year, about the high was 480, and we got as low as 388, and we're probably going to see a retest of that area over time and maybe get back as low as 3.62, which would probably translate to about 5% if you're trying to buy a house or something, right? So right now, because right now it's like 6 right now. So the inflation, the PCE came out, and they came out a little hot, right? Kind of stubborn. And so what happened was initially the euro dropped. The euro dropped initially, and then it turned around, right? So we had, in fact, if you come to there's an article here on school. Again, you can access it for free. Just click the link there. You can actually see the levels and things that I popped in there. If you're interested, I'm going to pop that in the chat, but I'm also going to pop it on YouTube for the people there. And Control V. Oh, cut the ropes here. Right. We paste in there. Okay. And it says, cut the rope, says, please share the story of scalping. Dr. Greg, if you have time, share the story of scalping. Do you have a link? Why don't you come on? In fact, one of my special students, you're the only certified pep and run instructor, and his name is Jamie, and he's on, but I need to give him a link. If I find the link, I know. Share. No, I'm gonna do that. Invite. Right? Copy invite link. Yeah, you gotta have a special guest. Sometimes he's busy. He's on top secret mission out there in the Middle East to help keep America safe. He's a pretty important guy out there. We thank you for your service. I popped the link. Pop up. Come on, Jamie, aka Cut the Rope. And I need to take care of this. Right. Now we'll see if he comes in. Right. Yeah. So inflation. So initially, the inflation rate. We saw, like, we look at the. Let's go back to the euro, and let's go back to let me remove some of the experimental stuff that I'm using. Right. VWAP. I don't know, man. Template is just stuck. It keeps coming up it's like catching a cold or something. Can't get rid of it. So this is the 1 minute chart of the euro, and the news. The news is released every major news at the back door. Okay, gotcha. Admit, come on in. All right. So at 8:30 we have news, right? 8:30 a.m. we have news, and so we can see that after the news. I mean, we knew that the Fed wasn't going to maybe be influenced by this number that came out at 9:30 or 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. We had the release of that, and we saw a little volatility, but we were declining like all morning, right? So they already knew that inflation number was going to get hot, right? And so higher inflation would mean a stronger dollar. So this reflects dollar strength. Now, once the news was released, it was buy the rumor, sell the news. It was already out. Hey, inflation is hot. Dollar gets strong, right? But then but a lot of people say, "Oh, the news came out. Why did it go down?" It was going down all morning. Clarence Speaks had the crop report, and they already traded it. And then when it came out, looky, boom, right? Reverse, right? And then boom, we screamed up here to this 170.09, whole number round number off the support, the 166 the 50 area, which was that's what that yellow line's for. I was like, why was that yellow line for? That was the 50 support area. right there. That was right at the 50 line. Quarter line went from 116.50, 50 pips higher to the whole number round number support, and we overshot that. And I was able to take that for some pippage. But anyway, that's the news came. I go, why? It's like if this inflation is hot, why is the euro going up? Because Sherlock, it went down all morning, right? Anyway, I want to welcome my guest, good friend, brother of another mother, the world famous Cut the Rope, certified pip and run instructor and New York session room trader.
Hey, how you doing, sir? Good day, good evening, good afternoon. How's everyone out there doing?
Doing good, man.
Good. I jumped on the YouTube and I said, I need to hear the story of scalping, which you are a true master of. I don't use that word loosely because, we got so many masters out there, right? But you are truly one of them. I was wondering if you could take the time out for the guests and people out there in the internet world to really understand what scalping is and, not the history, but, how it was, what's a good political word we can use? Oh, can't find one. Frowned upon.
Oh yeah, people, history is bad, right?
Yeah,
Don't know
right.
much about history.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I when I worked at the firm.
Mhm.
My boss name was Tom. He's like, say, hey, we're gonna be trading this currency, this Aussie yen, and he says
Mhm.
we're gonna get in. We're gonna kind of, we gotta have a stop loss about 300 pips, and we're gonna go for 100 pips stop loss, 300 pip take profit. And
Mhm.
so I go, well, wow, I'm gonna be part of the group. So I put my trade on. I'm
Mhm.
sitting there, and I
Mhm.
see, I put too large an order in because it's going down, and I'm feeling like, oh my god, this thing is going down, and then it went up, and then I was up like, ooh, I'm up 100, $200, right?
Right.
I close the trade out. And
Right.
then, I had my volume turned up on my monitor, and everyone heard me. And the boss goes, Greg, did you get out of the trade? Like, yes, sir. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to let your winners run and stop off your losers.
Right.
Oh, okay, sir. I'll get back in. So I got back in, and then it
Mhm.
dropped, and I'm like down 200. And then I'm like, oh, I'm down. My God, And then it was
Right.
then a couple of minutes later, it went up and was up 100. And I was like, going, you know what? Uh, You know, I'm gonna take this. And I clicked it again, and bing, 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 bing. The trading we used the Trade Station 2, which was a proprietary trading platform. It has all these bells and whistles. It basically ratted me out. All the I'm the new guy, and like the new guy's like messing up, right? It's like, Greg, did you take profits again? Like, well, yeah, and you're over the long run you're gonna lose because you're cutting your winners short and blah blah blah. So this time I turned the volume down and I
Mhm.
got in, I got out, I got in, I got out. I made like
Mhm.
$700. I'm like going, that was pretty cool, right? I'm
Right.
out. I say I make $700. I don't care about 300 pips. I make $700, right?
Right.
Overnight, go home, come back, hear this, God, what's that? And I go, what's going on? Well, we all got stopped out on that Aussie yen trade. And I guess he felt bad because he told me about it. Because it was
Mhm.
something overnight that happened in Japan. There was like Bank of Japan did something intervention or a Korean rocket, or I don't know what it was. But anyway, the thing had dropped and stopped everyone. I mean, just overnight dropped 150 pips. And he goes to me, like, Greg, sorry about getting you in that trade. We all lost. It's like I I said no, I better not say nothing, but I didn't lose, and that's how scalping was born, right? I said I got in and got out and got my money, and when I went to sleep, I have to worry about it. I didn't think about it. I was too large anyway. If I
Mhm.
was, if I probably was smaller, maybe I was trading like point two lots or something like that, point zero two or something, I probably wouldn't have been. But I had put in like a standard lot on, right? And
Mhm.
so that was the key, was having size on, um,
Mhm.
and taking small gains. and then closing them out. And so that was, and then someone told me, I was, well, that's that, I start seeing clients that were placed on, um, because at first the brokerage was a dealing desk, right? A dealing
Right.
desk means that they take the other side, a brokerage takes the other side of your trade.
Hmm.
And so when you lose, they make a ton of money, right?
Right.
And since, only 4 or 5 or 6 or 10% of the people actually win any money, it's like a casino, right?
Hmm.
However, there were guys that were hitting that over and over and over again for small amounts of money, and
Hmm.
they went to putting them on agency execution or they put them on they put them on the bank fee. They gave them to the bank. They put them out there. They gave them to the bank, right?
Right. 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 Right.
Yeah, they put them on NDD. We put somebody. I didn't know what NDD was. Non-dealing desk. Okay, well, why would you put them on NDD? We make less. Like, yeah, but it's like there was a criteria. If they were
Hmm.
consistently winning, well,
Hmm.
they got put on NDD, right? Give them to the banks.
Hmm.
Banks like, oh, snap. What's this guy? He's like a predatory guy. He's like hitting you, like, just like when we were trading that one time, we were hitting that on the was it the Blue Guardian?
Yeah.
We hit
Yeah.
it so bad, and that the thing wouldn't even catch up to you because you were hitting it so hard.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
We're hit.
Yeah,
We're hit.
they got me good, didn't they? I tell you, I was eating there. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That was a nightmare, wasn't it? But
Oh my God! Yeah,
it was fun though when when they didn't know what I was doing.
yeah, we were hitting them so many trades,
Yeah,
and I had passed like stage one, like right away, and then when
right.
I tried to get in, it starts spinning, and then you got on, and yours was spinning too.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you guys doing? They were pausing our trades.
Right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they wouldn't even we couldn't even see them, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I think I had recorded that, but anyway, but that was so. And back then the spreads were. I mean, you're talking about 2006, 2007 when I was started working the brokers back in 2006. The spreads were huge. I mean, it was like 5 pips on the euro and 10 pips on the pound. Pound yen had like 8, 9 pips spread during New York session, right? So the spreads were, I mean, I was no one was really scalping because the spreads are so wide. I just saw I was up in money. I didn't care about the spread because I knew that if price went up,
Hmm.
it really doesn't matter, right?
Right.
you know,
Right. Right.
if I'm
Right.
if I'm up 10 pips on a 100K lot, I make $100.
Right.
Oh, well, yeah, but you lost like $80. I never saw it anyway. I
Right.
wasn't gonna get it,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
if I
Right.
can beat the spread, I
Mhm.
don't care. So, well, Greg, you're paying lots of spreads and commissions. Yeah, but not only that. I mean, if you when you file your taxes, you can actually write off your commissions. Spreads you can't. I'm not. No,
Right.
I need
This is, yeah.
right as an operating expense. But
Hmm.
so when people are on the scalping thing, yeah, we're scalping. It's like when you could not if you didn't have a system. I had pip and run. I had a system,
Hmm.
right? So that had an 85, 90% win rate. I mean, I had like the one loser the entire week, right?
Hmm.
I've seen your trades. I mean, you've had like 30, 40 trades and not a single loss, right? Which
Right.
is totally people don't even can fathom that. They think it's a
Right.
they think it's a scam, but
Right.
it can be done because you're getting in and out.
Right.
I may not be right for 4 weeks for a swing trade or position trade, but I can be right for 10 seconds,
Right. Exactly. And that's all we need. We're in and out. Now, can you go a little bit more in depth how us as scalpers really have more of an edge in the market and how I think about 10, 15 years ago, how it was truly, truly frowned upon for certain reasons, if you can share that.
Yeah, it was we have the advantage because there's no overnight exposure because once
Hmm.
you're flat,
Hmm.
right? And
Mhm.
see the big banks and they want you to stay in it because while you're holding up the market and
Mhm.
you see it pull back and go up and pull back, that's them.
Mhm.
But they don't want the whole thing to drop. If everybody got out like them, the whole thing would fall apart.
Mhm.
But there has to
Mhm.
be a sucker to hold the bag, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So they have to have some, all swing and position traders to hold the market. It's like, like you park your money while they go in and out on you, right?
Right, right, right.
Right. And in fact, I was sharing last night, when I got my Australian certification back then. And so on the test, it actually talked about, insurance companies and hedge funds that actually are trading, and retail traders don't know anything. They have no knowledge of the intermarket or interdealer pricing or anything that's going on, right?
Mhm.
You just
Mhm.
think, oh yeah, they'll tell you because they want you to stay in the market, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But the fact I had to take this course, but I took a screenshot of it, because it was like each question was timed, and so you wouldn't use the internet to answer the questions. But I'll share it. Let me show you what was actually okay. So this is from that Australian certification. This is
Mhm.
different participants in the foreign exchange market have different views of it according to their participation in it. The home trader using an online brokerage service to profit from trading would have no idea of the high frequency trading of insurance companies and
Mhm.
pension funds in London and New York, who use
Mhm.
highly sophisticated trading and information systems to profit from currency movements in speculative trades that on average last less than 10 seconds and can
Mhm.
take microseconds.
Mhm.
Likewise, many participants in the retail section of the market have little idea of the interdealer section of the market, which drives the market as a
Right.
whole, right? So I mean that's what's actually that's the news, right? But
Right.
that's what's what but the Wall Street people will tell you, oh, we got to hold, we all buy and hold. But look, well, one of you guys, I think it was Bill or you, one
Mhm.
duration, 1 second duration, one
Mhm.
second to make $140.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Mhm.
1 minute and 24 seconds to make $360.
Mhm.
11 seconds to make $400.
Yeah.
Right? These are your guys, right?
Yeah. Right.
Or you, right? 8 seconds to make $140. 51 seconds to make $105.
Mhm.
35 seconds to make $60.
Mhm.
15 seconds to make $200.
Mhm.
That's pip and run, baby. That's pip and run.
It's pip and run.
27 seconds to make $55. 19 seconds to make $160.
Right.
25 seconds. And this is the same day. 25
Right.
seconds to make $700, right?
Yeah, you're looking at what, 12, $1,300 there. I mean, 12 or $1,300 in a day will change somebody's life. Um, I mean, if
Yeah.
you really add that time up, I mean, can we go back to that time real quick? Real quick,
Yeah.
Greg? If we look at that, you're talking about 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You're talking about 4 minutes. If you add those seconds up, that's about 4 minutes making $1,200. Now let's look at that mathematically, and just to really so the people, the students and people out there, if we look at that on a calculator, right, and we say $1,200 in what did we say, 4 minutes? I mean, divide that by four. I mean, you're talking about what, $300, 75 bucks a minute? Is that right?
So 1200 divided by 4,
1,200 divide that by four.
300.
300 bucks a minute. Now let's take that to the micro.
Let's do it times 60 times 60
Yeah,
minutes an hour. $18,000 an hour.
yeah. I mean that's That's damn good money.
You think?
Yeah, yeah. Now divide that by 60.
All right.
Now divide that by 60 for to represent 60 seconds.
$5 a second.
So where can you go to make $5 a second?
Probably some house of ill repute that but this is a family show. We
I
can't
don't
talk
think you
about
can
that.
I don't think you can even do that and live on it, you know. You won't be able to rip the benefits of it, you know. And but looking at that though, Greg, I mean that's phenomenal what you have taught us and what you're teaching hundreds of thousands of people around the world to see you can do this. This is, you know, and a lot of people say, oh man, $140 ain't nothing. It is not. Well, so if I made $140 in 23 seconds, is that wait, ain't nobody making no $140 in 23 seconds. Okay. Yeah, you can. And you look at all these people, these blue certificates. Oh wow. You know, I mean, you're talking about the world right there. You know, you got people who's
And
getting
then
five and
these.
six certificates at one time, you know. I mean, it's just it's a beautiful thing. So um
And then being funded trader too on top of that,
right.
where you have, walls and walls of people who are funded trading, including yourself,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Danny, Bill,
Mm-hmm.
Jermaine,
Mm-hmm.
Rudy,
Mm-hmm.
just, please, it's a powerful that we have a program, a simple um, process
Mm-hmm.
for taking people from beginning to end, right?
Mm-hmm. 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 And it's just all about putting yourself in a position of power to be able to do that and become a
Mm.
student. And this is a perfect right here 4-step blueprint. I was there when you only had three, so I got lucky.
Right. Exactly. And you're the point man. That's
Right,
you with the cape. That's you with
right,
the cape on.
right. Thanks. I'm glad it's red.
Black, black guy with a red cape.
There you go, buddy. There you go. There you go. Yeah. But yeah, you know, to be able to go from those areas to, you know, crawling, walking, running, and flying. I mean, again, you know, my hat's off to you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a powerful thing to be able to do that, to help people become traders, profitable traders. I mean, there's Barry. He was, one of our, Forex Foundation guys. There's Sean. That was last night. We were crushing it last night, right? This hitting it, This
Hmm. Hmm.
one loss. And
Wow.
he kept it very, very small, right? All
Exactly.
828, 828. So, I mean, having access to me, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've helped people. I was one of the top instructors I worked for a Wall Street firm. Okay. So it should be like, he worked for a Wall Street firm. Maybe this is where you guys need to learn from me, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
and learn from you as well.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Great thing. So, Greg, you know, with scalping, I heard a rumor that people didn't like the scalping for people to scalp because it was hard to, I guess, stop it.
Yeah, the addiction, the TUI, the trading
Yeah,
under the influence.
right. Well, not more so of the trader, but more so of the brokerage.
Oh yeah. They will. I've actually had. Well, you have the consistency rule, right? Where people make too much money too fast or too much,
Mm-hmm.
like Jabril, and they
Mm-hmm.
wind up holding their money, right? Like,
Right.
has that happened to you again? Has that happened?
No, no, because I stay within the consistency rule. I don't become greedy. I'm disciplined. You know, now back in the day, Yeah, Greg, I would have.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't
Um,
what's consistency? Yeah, consistency making money.
right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, like they said in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. And you just got to know how to play the
And
game and play the system. My
right.
grandfather once told me, he said, once you learn the rules of the game, you practice the rules of the game, then you master the rules of the game. And then once you master the rules of the game, you make up your own blankety blank rules. I'm sure you can fill in the blanks. Our granddads back in those days didn't care. They just said what was on their mind and kept it moving.
Right. There was no PC, politically correct.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So and he was so right, 70 years later, 50 years later, 40 years later, 30 years later, he's 100% accurate. You have to be able to put yourself in a position of power to understand the beast that you're fighting. If you don't understand your opponent, you're going in blind. I mean, you're going to gunfight with a stick. You're going to lose, especially if even if he doesn't know how to shoot the gun. He's got bullets. He's going to hit you. That's all it takes. One bullet in your behind, and
Right.
that's
Little lead poisoning. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, you got to understand what you're going up against, when you go into these fights with these prop firms, with your brokers. Make your money and go home. You'd be amazed what $150 to do across 10 accounts. That's $1,500 in a day. Who's making $1,500 a day? And that's taking one trade a day. Now think about that.
That's
What could $150 do for you? How about across 20 accounts? Now that
exactly.
1,500 just turned to $3,000.
Wow.
It's all
That's
about how you leverage the
mhm,
system.
exactly scaling it. Now,
Mhm.
my question is, why won't they? Because a lot of the trades are you're not trading with real money because you're trading it. It's kind of like a demo account, right? So
It
having
is
10.
on the prop firm, yes. On the prop firm, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir. I didn't allow you to finish. Please forgive me.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no worries. I'm just thinking that whether you have 10 or one, like for instance, Rob, when he first traded, he had a $200,000 account and he made $47,000 and he was able to get that money out, right?
Yes.
Um, but now it's like, okay, it's demo. Well, and you're not pulling any money out. So what's the use of why not have one large account of 200,000 versus four accounts of 50,000? I'm not understanding what has changed in the industry.
Because you're able to compound it on the 50K accounts. So and it's the drawdown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got 150K, 200,000, $250,000 account. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
great. Well, you got to make about $20,000 in order to do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're not going to make $20,000 in a, well, I'm not, let me rephrase that. The majority, the average person, right? We're above average, Dr. Greg, truly above average. They're going to get into a trade and they're going to hit that drawdown before they make $20,000. And they know that because psychologically, they've got all these psychiatrists and these people that understand, people, mental, emotional, that, they're going to lose $1,000. Okay, well, you got $6,000 drawdown. Okay, great. Well, that's a lot. I can go ahead now and put 20 contracts on this trade. Well, wait a second. You're talking about 20 contracts. You're talking about, $500 a tick. How long is that going to last if the market goes against you?
Not very
And you
long.
and you got a big stop loss.
Mm-hmm.
and you're trading at Red Folder News,
Mm,
and she gives you a Darth Maul candle.
mm.
Oh, I just need $500 more. I just need $500 more. That's all I need is 500. How
Mm.
many times have you, when you saw me trade, I said, I just need an extra $100, Dr. Gray. That's all I need, extra $100. And before you even try to talk me off the ledge, I already put it in. Now I'm negative 300. So that $100 just cost me another 200. Now I'm down in the red 300. And that's the reason why. When you have those large accounts, it gives you that false sense of that it gives you the false sense that you're a superhero and you're able to use more. And sometimes more is not always wise. It's great when you're making money, but man, it's a pain in the butt when you're negative in less than a minute, 2 grand on $150,000, $200,000, $250,000 account. Well, yeah, you put like 20 contracts on there. What do you expect? And they don't look at that. They only see the positive. They don't see the negative. They don't see the backstory of it.
Right.
And they see these people doing it. Well, yeah, they're doing it online, but they're not using, a prop firm account. They're in a demo account or they're in a prop account, but it's not a prop account that's already been flipped over to a live account. So they have three different accounts.
Okay.
They have your paper account, right,
Mm-hmm.
where you attempt to pass pass the account. Now, once you pass the account, you're still in a demo account,
Okay.
but you can make money off the demo account. Okay,
Okay.
that's a great deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But only after so long, they're going to say, hey, you've been kind of making some money here. Or they'll say, hey, you've been doing a great job, buddy. Hey, we're
Mm-hmm.
watching you. Hey, you're our top guy. Hey, we're
Mm-hmm.
going to keep an eye on you. And then, boom, they pull the rug from up onto you.
Mm-hmm.
You got $120,000 sitting there. You ready to go ahead and make that withdrawal. And they say, well, hey, Greg, we've decided we're going to put you live in the market. Well, can I at least get a withdrawal? Oh, no, no need for that. We're going to put you live in the market. Now they put you live in the market. They didn't pump you up, made you feel great, made you feel special. And then you go in there and you put 20 accounts, 20 contracts on there, and you're not paying attention and you're trading news, and it drops 150, 200 ticks on you.
Mm.
Today, look what happened with the NASDAQ. That thing, the whole bottom fell out.
Mm.
I mean, the whole bottom fell out. That thing dropped for what? Over 500 points?
Oh, really?
Oh my God. Yeah, 9 o'clock. That thing was already going down before everything started kicking off. But not understanding that, you'll
Oh,
have
yeah.
people in there attempting to buy it.
Buy the
Of
dip.
course, they don't know what we know because
Right.
we would have known to sell it.
The predictive function.
Okay, right. Yeah, well, Predictive Ventures gave us the buy and the sell. So it was
Mm.
perfect for running both ways. But people still attempting to buy that because they're not following you.
They
They
got
don't have
they got
the experience of it.
they got
So that's the reason
smoked.
why those 50K accounts are so much easier to trade because excuse me, you can put on 2 contracts, move 3 to 6, 9 points, and then you just made yourself about $400. Walk away, but they know the average person is not going to walk away. They're going to be like, man, if I made 400, if I do this again, I can make 800.
Work,
So now
work,
they know
work.
you're going to do that. So boom, you get back in there again. Now you just lost all 400. Now you lost all 400 and you're negative 200.
Mm.
Now, what do you
That,
think that does to a person's psyche?
oh yeah, you're psychologically screwed.
Yeah, right, right. He was like, man, I use the rent money, I use the electricity money, I use the car payment money, I use
Ouch.
I did this on a wing and a prayer, and that's why I do my best to inform people. If you're going to get in this game, you need to make sure you have the proper mentorship. You need to make sure you got your head on right. You need to have a skill set. And so many people chase the money instead of chasing the skill set. The money is going to just arbitrarily happen. It's by osmosis, it's going to happen. It's like Adam and Eve. It was going to happen that they were going to bear fruit of a child,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was going to happen through osmosis. It's going to naturally happen in trading when you have the right mentorship, you have the right system, you have the right mindset, you got your emotions in check, and you can go in and say, okay, boom, see this, I have the probability of this, I have this, execute. And now you're sitting up there, you made your $400. And that's another thing. This is very important. I hope everybody's listening. When you're going for these prop accounts, that consistency rule, that thing is religious. If you're on an average of making $300 a day, let that be your consistency, that I'm making 300. Of course, we want to make $1,000 in one trade. Of course, we want to make 2,000. Of course, we want to do that. But the consistency is what's going to hurt you, because of the fact is that's one of their rules. Well, hey, I see that you made $2,000 here today, and well, you broke the consistency rule. Well, wait, I just made y'all a bunch of money. Well, yeah, but we consider that as gambling. Oh, but if you guys do it, then it's okay, right? Right? Well, it doesn't matter. The rules are the rules, and this is what we have here. So we're not going to pay you this week, but better luck next time on the next 8 days.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, pay me. Yeah,
right.
pay me now.
So,
I'm gonna be up in somebody's office. So it's like, nah, 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 nah.
yeah, you want your money, but you're not going to get it. They're going to refuse the pay. So now you got to trade for 8 more days, because that's when the clock starts over. So when the clock starts over, then you'll be able to get that money. They don't take it. They just don't give it. They kind of like hold it for you. Okay, so now you hold it. Now you're sitting up there. So when you're dealing with the company I work with Apex, they have a $2,000 max per 8 days that you can withdraw out of your account if you follow the rules and everything is all copacetic. Well, looking at that every 8 days, by a calculator, what's that? You need to make 2,600. So anything over 2,600, that's the buffer. So 2,000, divide that by 8. So I said multiply. Oh, Lord. 2,000, divide that by 8. That's $250 a day. So that's two trades, I always say half buffer, of $150. Greg, there's no reason that 90%, if not more, in Elite Traders University can't make $150 a day and twice a day. There's no reason that they can't. And I make a challenge to everyone out there, that if you go for two trades at $150 is your max that you're going to make that trade twice a day, you'll make $300 a day. I guarantee it. I know we're not supposed to use that word, but I will tell you this. If you follow the rules, you do what you're supposed to do as a trader, as a student of Dr. Gray, you make two trades a day at $150 a day, you will walk away making a crap load of money, and it will change your life forever. And then that way you can go ahead and buy Greg a Rolex, you know, another BMW, probably that new 750 they got out there, with the big TV screen in the back. I'm just saying. Yeah.
That's
But
pretty nice.
I'm sure he won't turn it down. right?
No.
I know. And the great thing is you can write that gift off. So look, guess what? You're gonna buy the gift, give it to them, and then guess what? You can write the gift off on your taxes, and then everybody's happy, right? You're happy, your pockets are happy, and then Greg's happy, and he's happy twice because you made a crap load of money, and then you guys can have a different type of conversation. Because when Greg likes to talk to people that make money, because it's a different conversation. It's a different, yeah, we talk some serious different things. But I really wanted to share that with the group that, you put your head down, you stay focused, you can really, really do this. And there's no reason that you can't. You've got the greatest mentor in the trading industry, who is trained by one of the best psychological traders in the world. God rest his soul. Greg, do you have that picture available?
Yeah, dude. Okay.
Yeah, why don't you share that picture real quick, Greg?
Me and Mark, huh?
Yeah, I'm telling you. Um,
You know that was gonna be our last picture together.
yeah, yeah. Look at that, guys. I mean, that is just. I
Like,
never had the pleasure to meet him, but the book, I wish I'd had his mentorship. But you know what? We do have his mentorship because we got Greg. Because Greg was personally mentored by Mark Douglas. And if you haven't read the book, shame on you. And if you have read the book, read it again. And then when you get done with it, read it again. And then when you're done with it, read it again. Keep reading it because he's got so many gold bricks in there. It's just absolutely phenomenal to as a trader. I every time I read it, I pick up something that I missed. Because Mark Douglas was that profound. If you're able to see his videos on YouTube, I believe that some of his family members kind of stopped his videos being shown for free. But if you're able to get those videos or you're able to save them, I advise you to because he's got some great information. I know he had a YouTube. He actually had I think it was a TV show or something like that. Greg
mm-hmm.
YouTube or something.
Like a podcast.
Yeah, like a podcast. Yeah. And I mean, and he's just always giving out great information that could turn your trading around. But guys, take advantage of that you have with Greg and don't think that, oh well, Greg's up here. And well, Greg, yeah, he is up there. But you know what? Greg is down to earth and ask him those questions. There's no dumb questions out there. All right. The only dumb questions that you weren't smart enough to ask for, and I'm not calling you dumb, but you ask those questions because you never know. You might be asking a question somebody was afraid to ask Greg for, right? And you could be helping that next person. But I challenge every one of you guys. Yeah, look at that. Making $1 million. 200 and profit 5,000 times, you're a millionaire. So think about it. You got 20 accounts. You made $200 a day. Well, I say make $300 a day, right? Nice to have buffer because you're not going to win every trade. Okay. You're going to take an L here or there. But on average, you take $300 a day and you do that across 20 accounts. That's $40,000. Takes about 48 hours to get your money. So if I made $40,000 every 2 weeks, let's just say twice a month, right? Times that by 12. So $80,000 a month, times that by 12. That's
$960,000. Million. Might as well say a million, right?
but that's
Yeah.
with one company. How about if I go somewhere else and they can only give me 5 accounts? So I go to 2 other companies and get 5 accounts, that's 10. Now I'm trading 30. Now I'm trading all of them. Doing the same thing.
And use a copy trade. You get your copy trade software.
Got your copy trade software, or you can use the copy trade software that TradeEvade has. And you know, there's some little tricks I've learned along my little travels. How you don't have to
What you
worry
share with
about.
your with Elite Traders University
Yeah,
mentorship
only them.
students.
Yeah, only them. Yeah, where you don't have to worry about certain slippages in the bad way.
Well,
And but put yourself in that position. It doesn't matter, do something, but put yourself in a position of power and bug the heck out this guy. I mean, seriously, bug him because one day when Greg says, you know what, I'm going on vacation for the next year, what are you going to do then?
I coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, yeah, what are you going to do then? What if Greg says, you know what, I'm retiring, I'm going to be a granddad. And you know what? I'm going to spend all my time with my grandchild or grandchildren while my daughters are doing what they're doing. Because Greg could do that right now. I mean, he doesn't have any grandchildren, not yet, but that'll happen. But he may just do that. I had my program manager. He said, you know what? I'm done next year. I got grandbabies now. That's where he's at right now. He's in the United States, spending time with his grandson. He's got a granddaughter on the way, if not, has already been born. And he's got another one coming in 6.5, 7 months. But that's next year. And he said he's going home and retiring so he can go home and be a grandfather. I'm like, well, dang, what are we going to do? Figure it out. You better use me up while you can, because when I do this,
Asta,
I'm gone. He said, I'm not even getting on the plane with a suitcase. I'm getting on the plane with a book bag.
just walk away.
And he's going to walk away a happy, happy man. Have that power to do that.
You know,
Walk
I
by and you can pip and run. The pip and run trading system. I tell you, greatest thing that ever happened. And I still kick myself in the butt, Greg, that I didn't take advantage of this before. And oof, where I could be at now. And I kind of did some calculations for that. I think it was about a year and a half before I got my head out my behind. I added like 5 years onto my trading for no reason.
yeah.
Fear, you know, not trust, not belief, not nothing, not even belief in me. And then one day I got that email from Dr. Greg McLeod. Now that email wasn't for me, but that email was for me. And I'm like, really? I'm looking at the God like, are you serious? Okay. All right.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Doesn't he though? Hey, Greg, Jamie. Hey, Greg. Man, what's going on? Doing good, Greg. Yeah, and you was about to start. And I was like, you know what, Greg? Just send me the link. Link? What link? Greg, send me the link. So I can go ahead and wire you this money and let's go take care of this investment and let's put a stamp on it. Let's go to work. And that has been the greatest ride I've had in life outside of, getting married and bringing forth to this earth two beautiful daughters. So I say thank you, sir. And I'm always there, even if you call me at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll be half asleep, but I'll be right there.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you are part of the community and
Oh, yes,
you
sir.
have selflessly given, doing live trading in New York session and bring so many guys along that you've taken to the next step. It's like Moses and Joshua taking it up to the promised land. And you took them on into prop trading.
Yes, sir.
And like,
Sure.
I mean, virtually everyone who's worked with you has got a prop trading account. I
Yes,
really
sir.
don't know anyone. I think how I haven't heard from Robert Schmidt. I'm not sure what he's been.
I don't know what happened. He just went to I think was they call that the witness protection program.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I call witness protection
Mhm.
programs, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
So timing
It's
is everything.
timing, right?
Yeah, timing
Sometimes
is
it's not
everything.
the right time, right?
Right. It's just not the right time.
Mhm.
People, again, you can't come in with false pretenses. You can't come in like, oh yeah, I'm this. I'm no, 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 no. You got to be
No.
humble in this game because I'm telling you, the
Hmm.
markets will exploit who you really are.
Oh yeah, it's a mirror. It holds up a mirror to you and
Yes.
shows you who you are. If you're greedy, if you're a liar, if you're dishonest, if you're cheap, whatever, it will expose your moral weaknesses, right?
Yes. Yeah, I tell you if you're a warrior or if you're a punk, you
Right.
know. If you're ready to stand and fight, then god dang it, let's hook up and let's go ahead and defeat this doggone dragon. But then too, he said, "Whoosh," and shoot, you say, hey, hi, you ready? Hey, what? You see, you turn around, there's dust behind you because that's your buddy's feet picking up dust running so dang fast. Now you're standing there by yourself.
Oh yeah, that happens several times with people who are the founding fathers of ETU. They like disappear. Hey, what happened? It's like
All right.
now
Yeah.
they call all the time. Hey, like, no, it's
Right.
we did the heavy lifting, but I
Right.
think I think we even had we had a we have a coach funding, coach loan funding. I think we have that. We have payment plans. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people get in debt, you know, for education,
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And don't have a job,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, a kid
I took a
graduate.
loan out. I took a loan out. I
Mhm.
was already ready. I used your system. I said, okay, hey, I need the rest of this. And there we go. Got it done. Used the money making from trading, paid off the loan, done deal. And was able to write it off on my taxes as a tax expense.
Oh, snap, 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 snap.
Yeah. So
Just type some 888s in the chat box if you like that. Get
so
Uncle Sam to like fund you in your education,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they get a tax write off too.
Yeah. So put yourself in that position of power. There's more than one way. And when you know how to understand taxes and this tax code and how it works, and you can use that to your advantage. It's nothing wrong with being educated. There's nothing wrong with knowing how to use the knowledge that's out there, for yourself.
So my people
But
perish for lack of knowledge, right?
exactly. Yeah, they have to have that knowledge. I've never believed the word or the statement knowledge is power. I've always said the
Applied.
applying the knowledge is the true essence of life. Because you can have all the knowledge in the world and working at Piggly Wiggly or grabbing carts at Walmart. Now, if you're doing that, hey, God bless you. You're doing something. You're not out there busting some old lady across the head for a Social Security check. Oh, wait a minute. They don't even do that anymore, do they? They put them in the bank deposit. Well, when I was growing up, they sent out the checks. Okay. And the little thug guys was waiting right there at the corner, waiting on them to go in there to Western Union to cash their check. Right. Well, you don't have to do that. You're doing something, right? But you can get this skill set down pat. Ooh-wee. You may set up a foundation to help them old ladies that don't have to worry about going down there to do that crazy stuff no more, But, you can make that happen. I mean, Dr. Greg, he has training with the using artificial intelligence. I mean, and I missed that course, unfortunately, because of where I'm at geographically here in Saudi Arabia. Um, but if he ever does it again, I'll be right there on it.
Yeah. Our next workshop we're going to have is on wave counting. Wave counting is so important.
Yeah.
And if you watch some of the replays, I'm like counting. And basically, if you know what the wave count is, you know where it's going to go. So it's like having a crystal ball. So when
Yeah.
people watch the videos, the replays, they think that I'm editing. I'm talking over the video. How did I know it's going to go up? Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, we go small
Wait a
body.
minute, you really have people saying that?
Right, they think I edit. They put my voice over because I know it's gonna happen. Because you seen it. You see a wave two. You know what comes
Yeah.
after two. Three is gonna be big. three. It's like count. Can you count to five and know your ABCs? But that's what I tell people. The system is that simple. If you count to
Yeah.
five and know your ABCs, you got this, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing like anyone's ever tried. I make you sign an NDA, a non-compete,
Right.
non-disclosure agreement, because
Mm-hmm.
people have all these systems online on YouTube. Guess
Mm-hmm.
what? They stopped working because
Mm-hmm.
you know you have an edge. An edge is a unique advantage that you
Mm-hmm.
have over the market. What's your
Mm-hmm.
unique advantage if you're using the same strategy that everybody and everybody's mama is using, right? You're watching the same videos. Well, we're using this strategy. Like, yeah. And it's like 50-50. It's like flipping a coin, right? It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work anymore. But
Mm-hmm.
you're looking at
Mm-hmm.
the only two people that are licensed to teach pip and run.
Mm-hmm.
No other person. So you imagine after 20 years, what an
Mm-hmm.
edge we have in the markets,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And all the students that have gone through, the 200 or 300 people have gone through, they sign an NDA too,
Mm-hmm.
or they'll be, they've sued and fined. There's like a $10 million fine written in the NDA.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody's telling you anything about Pip and Rod,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the best strategy in the world,
Right.
right?
Right.
That you never heard of, and you're not going to hear of it unless you
Never
tune
heard.
into us, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you got a time machine.
Yeah, time machine. Go back in time and attend the Mark Douglas class with me, and and
And you're
nope, you
still
don't.
not going to learn it.
You're still not going to learn. No, you're just out of.
Yeah, that's awesome, Greg. That's awesome. I tell you, I tell you. But I definitely got a little project I want to talk to you about a little bit later. That we can show you something I think you'd like to play with and put your
Awesome.
senses together and see if it can be perfected. See, that's what we do. We bounce things off of each other, and we coagulate. That's a pretty big word right there,
There you go.
coagulate.
That's a 50-cent word there.
There you go.
Ring the
Ring
bell
the
on that one.
bell. Ring the bell. Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be a big help for the Elite Traders University members if you choose to use it. I know you've used the other thing before. I know you've shared that, and
Oh
I like,
yeah.
I like how you shared and then you take it away. I love that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
like hello. It's like you got something that puts a green arrow and you buy like hello.
yeah.
I got
I,
something that
I don't know, right? Wait a
yeah.
minute, what are you talking about? What green arrow? What
Well,
red arrow?
red arrows like green arrow kept really simple, right? It was
Yeah,
based on
right. Yeah.
remember it's based on the old night
Oh my
1999.
God. Greg, I tell you, man, I want that. Okay. I'm just letting you know if you ever sell it, I get first dibs.
You have a DVD player?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
I
eight
get
track. I've
first
got an
dibs.
eight track.
Yeah,
I got an eight track and cassette.
yeah. I get first dibs on that. Okay. I get first dibs.
I'll put it in my will. I will it to you, right? Maybe.
I get first dibs on that box. Oh my God, guys, that I'm not, what, we'll be on here for hours. But that big box,
I
you
got
can't find that now. You couldn't even find that if you wanted to.
I've got stuff on VHS. The whole when Trader's Library went out of business, they had a
Yeah.
blowout sale of all their video VHS
Oh,
cassettes. Remember Trader's Library? Trader's
yes.
Press in North
Yes.
Carolina?
Traders Press. Yep.
Yep.
Traders Press. Yep.
And I download and each one of them had a PDF or a PowerPoint with each one on the website. And I spent all night downloading all those before they went out of business. If like Toby Crable and Oz and all those guys with
You got eyes on there too?
yeah,
Oh my
I got
God.
his book. I got his textbook. But
Oh man.
Oliver Velez and all those guys.
Oh, I love Oliver Velez. They call him pompous and cocky, but you know what? He about his business.
Yeah, you get the
And
elephant,
he gonna
that
tell it
long
to
neck.
you straight up. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, all that. Yeah, all the. I was the archiver when I worked for the brokerage. I was the archiver. I
Okay.
would save everything, but then they said, Greg, we need to clean out everything. We're moving our servers, blah blah blah. Delete everything. I'm like, going delete everything. Basically, it's telling me to set the library on fire.
Right, right,
And
right,
I
right,
and, and
right.
I said, yeah, maybe I won't do that. Maybe I will, maybe I will move it to a 16 terabyte hard drive. Then they go, oh, Greg, what happened to that thing? We deleted it. I was like, you want it? No, it's gone, right? I can find it if you want.
Yeah, let me see if I can look for it. I might have forgotten to delete it, maybe. I don't know. Let me
Right.
see what I can do.
And then they go, Greg, thanks you, Greg. So it's like, you burn everything. It's like, you're gonna want it back eventually. We're gonna rebuild civilization.
Right. The
So I'm the
windmill.
so I'm the keeper of the scrolls.
Right, right, right. I know you were sitting there like drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. Greg, how you doing? Oh, we're doing great. Drag and drop, drag and
No,
drop. Well,
we've
let me
deleted
check it out.
we
Oh,
deleted
hold on. You're about to go to lunch.
we've deleted everything. Everything's gone. Great.
Everything's
Good job,
done.
Greg.
Good job,
Oh, you know
Greg.
what? We really need that. So the everyone was like, Greg, do you happen to have why would I have it? Because you don't delete anything. It's like, but you wanted me to delete it. I know, but we were wrong.
Let me go look at the backup drives. I don't know. Give me a couple
Yeah,
of
the old
days.
X drive. Yeah, that was the backup drive. I said, nah, we don't need that anymore. Delete everything. Like,
Delete
are you
everything.
kidding me? It's like her whole, all the research, all the engineering, all the stuff, all the data. It's like, I don't think that's a good idea. I think
Yeah,
you're gonna, yeah. All right, Heidi. See you later.
yeah, definitely,
Heidi
definitely.
is our most promising new student, and also Charles.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
She is a dedicated. She went through all the videos and like all the sections, and so she's really dedicated. So I'm
Awesome.
so glad to
Awesome.
have Heidi. She's gonna be our next success story.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations, Heidi. Awesome, awesome,
Yeah, yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
went a little overtime here. Make up for not showing up last. I was like in the car trying to log in. Hey, well, we're gonna send the email. I was like, no, you just sent it to my phone. It's like this device is not recognized. It's like, yeah, it's the.
Yeah, I didn't know what had happened. I was like, okay, well, maybe something happened and
I should make you like co-host in case that way.
yeah,
My phone will say it'll. I got locked out of Zoom. He said, "Oh, we sent it to your device." I like, okay, you sent it to the email, and I sent it to my device. It was if I'm in my car, I'm not at my device. That's the whole reason why I'm logging in from another device. Like,
right. Common sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's not so common, right? Not common sense,
Right.
not so common. Yeah.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah,
Yes.
the wave counting workshop. So we're people who are interested in it, preferably Pippin runners, because that way, because the way we wave count is by uh our top secret method, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
so
Exactly.
so enroll, take and let me know. Message me if you guys are interested. And guys, that's the gateway to getting in with Uncle Cut. I mean, come on, man, make $1 million a year. Why wouldn't you sign up, right, for live trading? So, with that said, guys, see you next month and have a great Labor Day. Peace and piss. Hook 'em horns.